This right here is Luis Caraza. He is a professional editor for artists like these guys. And today we're gonna break down his music video, TXT, Chasing That Feeling.
That right there is Chris, the director.
Yes, a little cameo from Chris. He's done some amazing stuff. That dude's an absolute stud.
If you see the phone, he's getting a call from Elias Talbot. That's the DP of the video.
This is a slight criticism.
No, go ahead, please.
But I feel like his eyeline following the comet is wrong.
In my temp VFX, which if you watched it, you would laugh. That's the way it was going. I'm not entirely sure why we did that.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to just come in here and tear your music video apart, but that's literally one of the first things I noticed.
It's fair. It's fair.
That is crazy.
This shot right here, and really the whole intro, we had to change it majorly 3 days before we had to deliver the video.
Wow.
And in that moment, label, director, the production company, everyone was like, all right, guys, how do we fix this? The original intro had a meteorite to go with the lyric that kind of split into 5 for each of the members. And it just like smashed on the street and made like a huge crater, but it looked too warlike.
Oh my goodness, bro. That's crazy.
So we wanted to stay very far away from that. So we introduced this more happy sort of rainbow kind of thing that creates kind of an impact, but it's not sort of a missile crater. It's a nice explosion.
TXT is known for having like the most crazy K-pop storytelling concepts. The entire story of TXT is about coming of age. They used to live in the paradise of their youth, but then they had to face a choice on whether they're going to embrace the harshness of reality or if they're going to just live a lie, being ignorant in their bliss. So that's what we see. We see them literally falling from paradise to a random city.
I did not know that.
So how much were you told in regards to the story before you started editing?
Basically, we want to make these the Avengers, pretty much. We want to make this as a superhero. It's more of the intention of what we want to tell with the music video rather than what has happened in the past with the band.
It's always such a huge variety of how much detail you get about the story, because sometimes you'll get like a crazy, huge, long email about the story, and sometimes you'll just be like, here's the footage, have fun.
Prepare to die. 더 속력을 높여서 down to earth like a meteorite.
For this intro, we had sort of 2 options. They had their entire choreo planned. I think even before Christian started working on the video, it was just already made. His first instinct, and you can see it in the animatic, was to have a linear story. The meteorite kind of falls to the ground. You see them all on the floor and they slowly start getting up and then they sing. It's what you see in this final video. But there was a whole other version shot and edited as well. The cut exists where they're just singing and dancing from the get-go, from the first moment. We were going back and forth on it for a bit because they actually kill it. They do such a good job, better than probably any other artist that I've cut. They have such precise movements in their choreo that you really want to stay in them as much as possible throughout and not really cut away, but you have to tell a story in the end. It was about finding that balance.
Especially when you're editing dancing from American music videos. Lots of times they're cutting out a little bit of the mistakes or when maybe they're not perfectly in sync. But when it comes to K-pop, they're just like killing it the entire time because of how perfectionistic they are.
Prepare to die. 더 속력을 높여서 down to earth like a meteorite.
So when there's a dance sequence like that, how do you know when to cut?
You can't just go by beat alone because you're gonna cut off a lot of their moves. So what I wanted to do was show, like if they were doing something with their hand, just show the full move. And then once it gets to the end, you cut. Instead of like a match action where you cut in the middle.
Got it. So you'd like compartmentalize each move into like its own shot.
Yeah. Or sets of moves. That shot where he blows a kiss. It's a boy band in the end. These guys have amazing artist power, celebrity power. So you gotta do it for the fans. You gotta have cute moments like that, beauty moments, beauty shots. They build it into the choreo, which is insane. Usually you just have a take of each member, at 48 frames per second. You slow it down and they're, looking hot towards camera. But here, they just somehow managed to weave it into the actual choreo and they do it over and over again.
That is so cool. Were you doing the sound effects on this too?
Yeah, so the final mix that you see in here is from Label, but I built out the sound effects, especially at the beginning in the intro.
So good. Sound is so slept on, especially in music videos.
I just keep on chasing that feeling.
So for this part, that goes back to how we wanted to balance the narrative with the performance. That light sequence was meant to start earlier in the choreo.
I feel like there's so many battles that people just completely miss. Like when you're watching the music video, you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like that obviously makes sense. But there's so many versions and like ways that it could have been. You have no idea how many hours I just slaved over where to put this one thing, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, you have a set of parameters that you know you have to hit. Maybe you have to lose a lot of good stuff on the way, but the story is a story and you have to be pushing it forward every shot that you see.
I just keep on chasing that feeling. Chasing that feeling. It's all I know, it's all I know.
In that sequence, you see one of the members just pass by, chasing the light. I think I added a little push in. They're running and singing the songs, but also like staying at a very specific distance from camera. It might not look like they're really running. So I added camera shakes throughout in both of the takes where they're running, just to give it a little more speed.
There's like actual running and then camera running, you know? It's so interesting. You never think of those things.
Yeah, that's the idea.
It's all I know, it's all I know.
So there, that was probably the shot that we worked on the most. It's a very long take and it's right after the chorus, so you want to slow it down. It needs to fit tightly after the previous shot and before the next one. So I'm doing a lot of time remaps in it, but obviously we have performance in there, so we can't really speed ramp it too much or it'll start slipping away from sync. The beginning, when he moves the manhole, that's sped up like 300 or maybe 400%.
Oh my gosh.
But it was looking very fake. Then sound was able to fix it completely.
Are these cars real or is it VFX?
They're not real. No, there is not a single car.
Oh, so that probably helps a lot too, because you have a car moving at a normal speed, even though he's not.
Exactly. Yeah, it's helping with the illusion. And literally the second he starts singing, that's when it goes back to normal motion.
Oh, that's crazy. I never would have known that. That is so wild.
Yeah.
What?
내 몸에 crawling pains. Feels like I'm on fire. 조금은 아파도 burn and fall like a shooting star.
Luis, did you know that 75% of people who watch this channel are not subscribed?
No.
Anyway, let's move on. And this is like a shot when you're editing. This is a shot of nothing right here, this insert, right?
Yeah, nothing at all. Oh, this shot was super sick. The van that goes by is also fake.
Do you wish that they matched closer or not?
I think of VFX having a lot on their plate and editing not knowing exactly what was gonna happen in this scene. But yeah, the van should become the train or at least wipe the frame, and then we go into this next section.
It's so good either way though. Like you still get the same effect, the same match of motion.
I just keep on chasing that feeling. 망가진 나의 limit. I just keep on chasing that feeling. Chasing that feeling.
That is so crazy, bro.
Chasing that feeling. It's all I
This sequence right here with the taxi was probably the one that took the longest to edit between me and Christian. And it's something that goes back to what I said before of like balancing the narrative and performance. And the performance take of this, where he's singing, was not hitting as well. The taxi wasn't moving quite right, or his position wasn't the best. So we opted to do one where he's not singing at all.
It's stuff like that that you would just never notice. I get to look at these videos and be like, oh yeah, maybe the editor might have done this. But there's so much story behind every single edit. And so I'm so glad that you're on here to explain all these things to us. This is so freaking sick.
I would have loved to stay on that shot for as long as possible when he's on the street light, because it's such a beautiful shot. VFX did an amazing job with it, but we need to move on to the next section.
fall from the sky, and everything's gonna be alright.
So here, I wanted to stay on the wide for as long as possible right before this shot, right before that close-up, but the choreo couldn't really see them. So I go into the close-up and then we start going crazy. But this is sort of like the last moment of tranquility that you have before we really break it down.
It's the quiet before the storm, baby.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. It's so good. I mean, my interpretation of it is that they all landed here on this city. They started chasing their feelings all over the city, chasing whatever their desires were. But then all those feelings eventually led them all back to the same spot together. And so we'll see what happens once all their feelings get combined.
I love that. I love that. It's a story of friendship.
And everything's gonna be alright. Soon gonna come and kiss me. I just keep on chasing that feeling. I'm virgin, now you don't leave me. I just keep on chasing that feeling. Chasing that feeling.
Oh my goodness.
Same idea from the choreo section before. When they sustain those notes, like feeling, that's when I go to like the camera pullouts, the very epic push-ins.
Oh.
Like that sounds to me like the camera move.
Yes, that makes so much sense. It's the high note and it's long, so you want to just match that by pulling out, seeing a grand of wide shot and just holding on it. So good. Luis, you're the best. You're a genius. Dude, again with that close-up on the kiss me. Also, if you're wanting to learn how to edit music videos just like Luis, just like myself, you can check out my course, The Editing Formula, and use code ACID20 for 20% off right now. It's a great deal. Check it out.
I just keep on chasing that feeling. Chasing that feeling. Chasing that feeling. It's all I know.
Once the buildings start going all freaking like Inception on us, did you add in that sound of them transforming?
No, that was all the sound mix, which came from Big Hit after Digital Axis did their VFX, which came out looking impressive. It was always Doctor Strange was the reference.
That makes way more sense than Inception, yeah.
You know, continues that reference of we want to show the Avengers of K-pop.
There's actually a group that they made called the Avengers of K-pop, Super M. They literally hold a bunch of different like superstar members together and then made like a play off of the Avengers theme and just went crazy on this giant video.
There is so much that we don't know, really, and I try to expose myself to as much as possible, like, you know, American stuff, but also like new stuff, because that's really where the innovation is gonna come from. You have done so many editor reacts videos to K-pop. I mean, that's probably my only source. I need to dive in a little deeper.
It's all I know.
Ooh.
I keep chasing. I'm chasing that feeling.
Boom. And we're out.
Bro, this is my favorite. He's just like, I think we should go, guys. Their perception of reality once they're together, all chasing their feelings, gets crazy. The song stops, all of a sudden they snap back into reality and realize that perception was just for them. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's my interpretation.
I think it's for us to decide whether it's right or not. Us, the viewers. Not us editors, but us viewers. The meaning is in each and every one of us.
That's just how the best art is.
Dude, it's been crazy. The reception this one has been getting is unlike anything I've ever seen for any music video. I want to just say I'm a Mexican music video editor working in American music videos. All the inspiration I've been getting and all the work that I've been doing has been here. I would love to work on the music videos that are coming out from Mexico, like Peso Pluma and all that stuff.
Dude, I just got called Peso Pluma because of my haircut, actually. I love that you're taking where you come from and your inspirations and everybody's own experience and your heritage and let that inform the way that you create art, and you can only do what you do because of who you are. And so that's so awesome, bro. Don't lose that. Thank you so much, Luis, for coming on the show. It means literally the world. You are absolutely a freaking stud. Don't forget to use code ACID20 for 20% off the editing formula. God bless you guys. Peace.